So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Another 3 points for Newcastle United at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as they come away with a 2-1 win. A very different win for me today because we can't expect to go into every game and just destroy teams. There is going to be games where we are going to have to battle. There's going to be a lot for the opposition to play for. And today there was a lot of young kids came into that Tottenham side. A lot of players who have been on the outskirts of the squad who want to prove a point. And to be honest, it was such a battling performance in that second half. It was a different side of Newcastle United that we saw in that second half. Not only were we against Tottenham, but we were against the referee as well. But we'll come on to him later. Botman was back today. Big call from Eddie Howe to put him in from the start. And yes, he had a rusty first 10-15 minutes, but he certainly grew into the game, but was caught out in the first couple of minutes. Porro whips in a beautiful cross and a brilliant header by Solanke, getting ahead of Botman. However, I always think now, watching Newcastle United, we have so many good players on that pitch. We can break teams down, we can break away on counter-attacks, and we can score goals. And we answered back within 2 minutes. Gordon picking the ball up, smashing it in the corner on his left foot. Brilliant finish, and it's 1-1. But the game was scrappy after that. For around 10-15 minutes, we weren't looking our best. Tottenham had a few opportunities going forward. We seemed to be giving the ball away. We didn't look like we were our usual selves. But then the back end of the first half, we came into our own again. We really did come into our own. We played some fabulous stuff, knocking the ball around, one-touch football. Movement was brilliant. And then, of course, Jacob Murphy plays a lovely ball across. And Isak, well, hits the bottom of his studs off Dragerson, of course, and it's 2-1 to Newcastle. Isak had just missed a wonderful opportunity just before that from a similar sort of move. Murphy cutting the ball back, and I don't know whether he tried to be too clever putting it in the corner, but he should have really scored that one more than the goal itself. But look, second half, we expected Spurs to come out a different side. They are having a poor run at the minute. They've been shot down by suspensions, illness, injuries and things like that. And you expected, Postecoglou to put the big three on at some point. That being Maddison, Son, and of course, Basuma. And when they came on, it did make a difference to Spurs. They became more attacking. We were more backs against the wall stuff, but we defended really, really well. Dubravka was solid as a rock in goal. Absolutely solid as a rock. It was brilliant to see. His distribution today, by the way, was absolutely class. Excellent distribution, getting the ball out of the wings and putting us on the attack very, very quickly, especially in that first half. But we defended like lions again in the second half. And like I said earlier on, we're not going to win every game by just steamrolling teams. There's going to be games where we're not quite at the races or teams are putting pressure on us and we have to defend and fight for the wins. And that's exactly what we did today. Now, a lot of people said that Eddie Howe could have possibly made changes earlier. Who are we to say? Eddie Howe could have made a number of changes and we could have gone on and lost the game or conceded and only drew. The fact that he made the changes when he did and we still went on to win the game, he is justified again in his stance of what he did during that game. People are saying his game management was wrong. We can't really say that, guys, because we won the game. And we saw out a ridiculous amount of injury time at the end of the game, and we saw it out brilliantly. Bruno and Tonali, the way they managed the game in that injury time period was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Some people saying Tonali wasn't at the races today, but I'm sorry, he did so much work blocking runs and things like that when Tottenham were coming forward. And people don't necessarily see that side of his game, but it was there for all to see. And the battling from Dan Burn today was unbelievable. I mean, Dan Burn, he's undroppable for me at the minute. You can't drop him. Eddie Howe's going to have a big, big headache when Fabian Schär's back from his suspension. And certainly Botman's fit again now. I don't know what he does. I really don't know what he does. But the fact that we've held on and we've won the game just gives us a view of another side to Newcastle, that they aren't just a team that will steamroll you and run out of gas. They are a team that will now fight for what they've got and fight for the victories. And we did that today. Spurs had a couple of opportunities. Absolutely they did. And Dubravka was there to deny them. But on the whole, we defended well, we counter-attacked well, and Spurs, as I say, were always going to come at us in the second half. Always. Because they're at home, they're having a poor run of form, and there's a lot of players on that pitch for Tottenham today who wanted to prove a point to the manager. But Pedro Porro, for me, was their man of the match. He was superb. He caused us so many problems with his deliveries into the box today. But we dealt with them, whether it be a headed clearance or Dubravka come out and win the ball. But his passing was sensational today. And he always caused us problems. Solanke going against Botman most of the first half and second. Botman grew into the game and controlled Solanke for most of it. He got a header at the end of the game, which just dipped over the bar, of course. But apart from that, Botman and Burns stayed solid as a rock. Absolutely solid. And given that it was a bit shaky early doors, because obviously there's a change in the centre-backs, you're going to have to get used to each other. Botman hasn't played for a while, so it's understandable. But I think the grit and determination that we showed in that game against everything that we faced in that second half, I'm really proud of the team today to come away with another 3 points. Bang on proud of them. Each man worked their arses off. Worked their absolute arses off. And look, the referee, it needs addressing this because he was absolutely disgraceful in that second half. And I got the feeling from a couple of minutes in, the 47th minute, that he was going to cause problems for Newcastle in that second half. And you just have to look at the penalty incident, okay, with Anthony Gordon, right? He is blocked. He totally does Kulusevski, completely blocks him. Kulusevski, fair enough, can't get out the way. It's an accidental challenge, absolutely. There's no malice in it at all. However, it's still a foul. It's still a foul. He's done him. He's brought him down in the box. It's a foul. 10 minutes later, we go up the other end of the pitch, and the same thing happens to James Maddison. Botman stands his ground. Maddison runs into him. Maddison goes down. Referee, free kick, and to top it off, a yellow card for Botman. In what world is that any different to what happened to Anthony Gordon at the other end? There's no card at the other end, let alone a foul. So, where is the sense in that? And the referee's decisions throughout that second half were absolutely abysmal. He adds nearly 3 minutes on top of the 10 that he'd already added. He was just desperate for Spurs to score. The free kicks he was giving Spurs were absolute nonsense. And that's another reason that I'm so proud of the lads today, that they've battled through that, because they had to overcome some disgusting refereeing, as well as, what Tottenham threw at us. And we've come through it and got the 3 points. Because we were absolute lions today. And despite Tottenham having a 12th man in the referee, we still did them. And you have to be proud of the lads for doing that. You have to be proud of the fact that we've got 3 points. Was every man at the top of his game today for Newcastle? No. But you're not going to get that every single game. And that's why sometimes it's going to be a scrap for the 3 points. And that's what it was today, a scrap. But the positive thing is we've come through that scrap with flying colours. And, despite certain players not being at the top of the game, Tottenham pushing us, the referee completely against us, left, right and centre. Every decision in that second half against us. But we've come through it. And I think it's a real indication of where we are as a football team right now. That indication is we are flying. The confidence is up there. The camaraderie in the dressing room. The determination to fight for the badge. It's all there. It is all there to see. And I'm absolutely so proud we've come away with 3 points today. Despite everything that was thrown at us in the second half, we continue to march on. So join us for the full review tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, guys, if you're watching this on Saturday. If you're watching this on Sunday, it's tonight at 7. But please tune in for that. And, of course, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, help us on our way to 35k, guys. Hit the subscribe button, free to do so. And make sure you hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload or a live show. But in the meantime, have a cracking weekend, guys. It's another 3 points for Newcastle. We'll see you very soon. Take care.